So, we've been out to a lot. We've been Ballast Point. We've been to lots of places.
You do that on 40 grand a year?
A month, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So,
We got
no, not 40 grand a month. It doesn't cost that much. People get in. They're all stuck on this. Well, we need to be worth $15 million. You don't need to be worth $15 million. You need to have no debt and have a $500,000 a year income. Your lifestyle will be better. There's actually studies on this. I'm sure you've probably seen this, right? And so that there's diminishing returns. I'm an economist.
After 70 grand a year.
Is it after 70?
$70,000 a year.
See, I don't know about that.
Where they're saying,
well, maybe
like
if you look at a global, they're looking at a global population.
Well, they're looking at the U.S. and they're saying on average $70,000 a year because your essential needs are met, that your happiness doesn't increase.
I'm going to tell you, it's really nice to not. I mean, I'm just going to say it. It's really nice to not have to cut your own grass if you don't want to. If you want to, there's a lawnmower out there. Just go cut your grass. Get your groove on. Cut your grass, or not clean your house. But it's damn nice to be able to go. You know what? Instead, I think I'm going to go to my kids' play. I think I'm going to go to my daughter's science fair project. I'm going to help her with that project, or I'm going to grab my wife's hand. I'm going to hold it. And I'm going to take a walk around the block rather than cleaning my house. And guess what? It's good for that person too. They need a job. They need to clean a house. I promise you that the people because I've got lots of people that help our family. They're not second-class citizens. They are loved. They're awesome. We love them. We value them. They're incredible, and we just have different roles. It doesn't make me better or anything else, but man, golly, I tell you, life can be really incredible. Once you get to a certain point when you don't have to do some of those basic things, it kind of takes a little air out of the balloon.
Let me ask you a question. For some people who are listening and you say, oh, well, $500,000 a year, that's what you need to get. And they're just like, yeah, buddy, okay, $500,000 a year. Why don't you show me how to get it? Are we going to create content that shows people how they can make a $500,000 a year income?
Yes and no, right? I can give you a short version. You're going to work your ass off. Mm-hmm. And if you really want it, you either already have it or you will have it. Now, I'm not saying that that's like, we're not talking about Bill Gates. We're not talking about all that. And you don't have to have that to have a happy life. I know a lot of people that have nothing. They're happier than I am. I mean, where I go to church, Catholic, I mean, it's in the hood in Greenville, South Carolina. And there's a lot of people there. They're happier than me. And so money doesn't buy you happiness. It's about, but if we're talking about what we want to achieve, I mean, that's like a number for me to where I can go, if you don't have any debt, you're making that level of money, you can do you don't need something outlandish beyond that. But the reality is that's still way on out there. And so, but yeah, I mean, there's no reason, in my opinion, anybody that wants to make $200,000 to $500,000 a year can't. There's only one reason: you're not willing to do the work. Now, you have to also understand you are going to work your ass off to do it. No one is going to give it to you. Well, there are certain ways to go about doing it.
Well, there are people,
but it's not going to happen on accident.
There are people who work 80 hours a week. They're willing to work.
Sure.
They are willing to work.
Sure.
And they still can't seem to rise above.
Correct.
So that comes down to, that's something else. It's got to be something else, right?
They're not doing the right things.
They're not doing the right things.
They don't know.
So there we go. So are we going to create content to help people understand what the right things to do are, if you're willing to put the work in?
Sure. I mean, there's some simple, talk about hacks earlier. There's some simple hacks that you can do. Turn the radio off. Y'all, I'm not joking. What I did, I honestly believe everyone can do. Now, my life circumstances and everybody else's are different, right? I had a childhood that was different than a lot of people. I don't know many people whose dad was building business plans alongside of them, like letting them watch when they were 7 or 8 years old. I was for a decade. I mean, I saw all that. And so, yeah, I mean, that has an impact, but it's not critical. I mean, if you're willing to do the work, I mean, to me, the fundamental stuff is turn the radio off. I mean, the thing I tell my kids, you got to turn the radio off. What am I going to listen to? You're going to listen to stuff that actually feeds your brain. Brian Tracy, all-time favorite. but you've got so many people that like teach you about success. There's so much classical crap out there, and it's free. Hell, it's on YouTube. All you have to be willing to do is go do it. Just turn it on and listen to it.
Did you know Brian Tracy started a vlog?
No, I didn't.
I found this
And
out
he's
last
old
week.
now, man.
Oh, that dude is.
He's killer.
He can talk in his everyday life just like his audiobooks.
I know.
You're like, wait a minute. That's
know.
not an audiobook voice.
Every day, you need to get up and go, I can do this. Today is going to be a great day. And I know. The reason I know is I never listen to the radio. All right, so people want 7 quick ways. You want another beer?
Yeah, give me one.
River Rat. Here you go. People
Give me
want.
another one. I tried that one. Give me another one. Not an IPA, though.
Well, that's all we have is an IPA.
Oh, give me that River Rat then. You either love it or hate it, right?
I know, right? So
See if I
people
can get
want.
this sound.
Oh, nice. All right, so people want 7 quick ways to clean up your life by tomorrow morning. All right, that's not. It's fun to read.
It's like instant biceps.
Right.
Instant
Exactly.
abs.
It's like cocaine. It's a drug. Right? It's not reality.
And
Makes
they're-
you feel a little bit better for now. Then you're going to feel terrible because you realize, no, that's not reality. It's just not reality.
It's like for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. There's a consequence.
Sure. But here's the great thing. I mean, honestly, with success material, good grief, you can, honest to God, though, see an instant benefit. The change in your relationships, the change in the way that you view the world, the change in the way that you view yourself, your level of energy, your level of activity. I mean, you know me. That activity is my jam. Like you have got to build a pace about yourself to get crap done. I mean, I remember that. I even had it even when I was in college or in high school too. You're playing football, you're on a football field, and they go, defensive group, far corner on the dummies. I bet you were not going to beat me there, ever. I don't care who you were. I don't care if you ran a 4.40. I would tackle you. You were not beating me there. And because it was an overall attitude of, that's what I'm going to do. I'm there to work. And I just kind of took that on. That was my thing. And now it got a little weird at certain points when I was in a suit after I'd already graduated, and I realized I pulled up to the mall and it was hot as hell, and I was parked in the back of the parking lot, and I realized I'm in a suit jogging to the entrance. Like it's time to calm it down a little bit. Like I was sweating profusely.
Yes.
Big defensive lineman. And but anyhow, like building the pace about there's certain habits and things that you can build that will change your life. And people always go like well, let me finish that. Like Brian Tracy. There's so many of them, but just go consume that material. And people are like, the big thing is people bitch and moan about, and I've had employees for 2 decades, now going into my 3rd decade. How many of them actually do it? I have said it over and over. You think that what I've done is so special. It's not special. It's like, if you want to be a doctor, you got to go to medical school. But people want to make all this money. They don't want to do any work. They're just damn lazy. And so you have to do the work. And so, but the beautiful thing is the work is actually going to change you so that you're a different human being than you are currently.
Right.
And so that you're listening, you're consuming. If you go eat Cheetos and donuts all day long, you're going to look like a Cheeto and a donut. But if you're eating something different, it's no different than the things you're taking into your brain. It's way more important than stuff you take into your brain. And it's just, obviously I'm passionate about it. It's very important. And very few people actually do it. Even when they stare face to face with evidence of people that will say the same things. They're successful, but they don't want that. They want 6 ways to have an 8-pack of abs by tomorrow afternoon. They want the fast, easy way. There is no fast, easy way. I mean, when I was working with John Hancock, my best friends, he said, Combs, there's this thing called a CFP. I said, what now? He said, a CFP. I was like, what is that? A Certified Financial Planner. I was like, was that those letters out? I mean, I didn't know anything. I knew nothing. He said, yes, it's like it's a designation, and you can take these people make $100,000 a year. I was like, oh my God, you can't spend $100,000 a year. That's 21 years old. Like, you can't spend how do you spend $100,000 a year? It's a ton of money. I never had that kind of money. I didn't grow up like that. And so I said, well, I'm going to get that. We have to find out. Well, I think at that time you needed 5 years of experience. That's why I can't wait 5 years. Right. So what am I going to do? Well, I looked it up, and it comes to find out that if you had 2 other designations, you didn't have to wait 5 years. If you had a CLU, Certified Life Underwriter, and a CHFC, Chartered Financial Consultant, I want to say it was like either 9 or 13 exams or something, you could sit for the CFP, even though you didn't have 5 years experience. So that's what I'm going to do. And so I stopped listening to radio. All I would listen to is those tapes and Brian Tracy and all this, and you'd see me maybe a little dangerous. I'd be driving down the road and sitting at the stoplight, flipping these cards. I was an animal. I just consumed it. And I would take a test a month almost, every 6 weeks, 30 to 40 hour tests. Some people were like, yeah, I did my first CLU this year. I was like, well, I did 8. You did 8? Yeah, I did 8 this year. And so and then I did the CHFC. So I was 23 years old and hit a CLU and CHFC, not because I'm smart, because I was willing to work.
That's right. So that's the thing you keep that keeps resonating. The thing that you keep saying over and over. Tons of people are consuming this information.
Right.
Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, they've sold millions of audiobooks.
Gosh, right.
Tony Robbins. But the point that made the difference is that you took action on it.
Right.
You're describing taking action. You're saying naturally we're all consumers.
Right.
Right. So you're saying you consumed the information.
Right.
But then you took massive action with the information. I think that's what's lacking. What's lacking is this entitled mentality of, I should have this, I deserve this, this is not fair.
Right.
And we have an entire culture of people who they just refuse to take action.
Right.
But the opportunity is so abundant with the internet, with social media, with all these things that exist.
Right.
And the people who take massive action get massive results.